so we can record this too. Terry, give me 1 second here. Okay, let me go grab my cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's 6 a.m., 7 a.m. over here.
Okay, no
Hold on a
problem.
second. Okay, that's better. All right, so let's start diving into this. So, all right. So, best thing to do right now is now that we got all this stuff pulled up, what's your favorite? Like, let's pull in a reference track, okay? So let's load up one of those ideas that we had, right?
Yeah,
Or let's just put in like here.
any piano house track I do as a
Yeah,
reference track.
we'll do let me look for what's his name? Uh cool. So I'm gonna just pull in this is my reference track, Love Like This by Left Wing Cody. All right. So here's a track, right? All right. So I'm going to show you this really quick. We're just going to delete all this really quick, or we're not going to delete it, but we're just going to put these are markers, okay?
Okay.
Add locator, right? So we're going to do intro. So here's your intro, and this is where you start getting to get the arrangements done, right? Start diving in, you start looking at the track that is your reference, and this is how you start arranging. You start building arrangements out based off of what other hit tracks have done, right? It makes your life way easier, less thinking, and you kind of mimic that, right? So we go intro. All right, so we got an extended. So right here we got like an extend intro. And then right here, and then we're gonna do, actually we're gonna make this the extend intro. So we're gonna intro, so it's just kick and drums, right? Kick and drums. Right there is where the bass comes in. Then right here. All right, this is where the first breakdown comes in. So we're gonna add locator there. Breakdown 1. Right? So here's breakdown 1. You can see it starts right here, then right here. And then we're gonna do this right here. This is where the first drop comes in. What's this at right now? All right, so we're just gonna see where this is at 126, 128. It looks like it's like 127, 129. We're just trying to see what the thing is. So it's 128 about. So this is where the first drop is at locator, drop 1, right?
Yep.
And then we're gonna do this right here, breakdown 2. And then right here, we're going to do drop 2. So this is the arrangement. Okay.
Yep.
So now that we got that, so we got our intro right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our track, our little beat right here, and I'm just going to start arranging stuff. Like I'm just going to put all these drums and stuff. So like we don't have anything in it, but put like all right. So then just like give us a little framework. This is going to be our loop right here from 33. So this is going to be our breakdown 1. So we're going to move this over just a little bit. So we're going to do breakdown's going to start right here. We're just going to move this over a little bit as our first breakdown, right? Add
Yep.
an extra bar on this. And then this is going to be our intro. So we're just going to copy all this over. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily look like this exactly, but like I'm just going to I need to move this to 128 as well. All right. So we're just going to do this. So it's going to look like that. I'm going to try to keep this as pretty simple as possible. We're going to move this over here, move this right here, and then this is going to be our drop 1, drop 2, and then we're just going to move this out. All right, so it kind of looks like that already, right? So 1, 2, drop 1, drop 2, and then we can add some bass in there and whatnot. So yeah, that's how I arrange tracks, right? So it's already pretty much arranged, right? So now we know in this part we got bass comes in right here, drop, vocal, cool. So you kind of see how that's laid out already?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're basically setting up your sections to say, right, I need a vocal in that bit. I'll need that in that bit.
Yeah,
I need something
exactly.
different in that. Yeah.
So let's just get like a basic bass line and like we'll just do something. We'll just put an odd like a loop in. Let's do a bass. Let Yeah, we're just gonna try to do this really quick so we can kind of. All right, we're just gonna put this in here. We're gonna sidechain this to the kick really quick. So we're just gonna, so that way we just have. I don't love that bass line. Can you hear all that?
Yep.
All right. All right, so we're just gonna do that. We're gonna put a bass line right there. Let's put just a vocal in D minor on this now too. Just so, or simple. Let's do something really simple. Something simple. All right, cool. So we got a little vocal, then we're just gonna do something simple, put a vocal chop or something. We're just gonna do something really simple like this. All right, so we got our breakdown right here. We got this right here. We're just going to copy this over here. And then we're going to remove the bass here because this is where they cut out the bass in the track. The
Yeah.
bass gets brought back in here. This is just kick and drop. We're going to turn up the volume on this kick a little bit. And what we're going to do on this is we're just going to automate a filter. So you can just use an EQ. So this turns off the bass and everything. So that we're just taking out the lows, right?
Yep.
So for this, we're just going to turn this on and we're going to turn it on and off, right? Because right now this is what it sounds like with it on. Cool. So we're going to turn it on here, right on the 16 bar note or the 8th note. We're just going to turn it on or off and on right here. So just going to put a quick top loop on this so that way we can just get some drums going a little bit more. We'll put this like right here, just in the drum part. Turn these clats and halves up a little bit. See, we're now up. So we're missing a pad, right? So we just want to put a pad in there now, something easy, pad in D minor. And this is how we're doing this quick because it's just because it's a little bit of you know, we only have about a half hour, 40 minutes on these lessons, so hear that? So we're going into it.
Yep.
Something like that, right? Yeah, that'll be actually better. That's actually better. We'll do something like that. All right, so now we got this going in there. We're not going to do any automation or anything. We're just going to like we're arranging a track.
Yeah.
All right, so after that part, we got this coming in. Let's see where this bass is coming in. All right, yeah, so we want this a little thicker, right? So I'm just gonna add a saturator or a thicker, just something to keep that a little bit thick, like R bass or something. Or don't worry about the plugins. I'm just gonna put a saturator on it though. Something easy to get that bass a little thicker. So I'm just gonna do a basic Ableton saturator, like do a little bit of a hard medium curve.
Yeah, so you're giving it a bit of life.
Yeah. And we're just going to turn this to 128. We're going to take out the lows again right here. So this is just we're going to take out the kick right here.
so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
Then we're just gonna go into the drop right here. And this is just, we're putting basic stuff in.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Girl, you'll never find another as.
So like he's got a bunch of different things going on there. Like he's got a Reese going. So like we can look for like a Reese in D minor now to put this in there. Let's just look for Reese. Perfect. So we'll like do something like this.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
And then it goes into like that drop, right? So then we
Yeah.
got that. So then we're just arranging this now, just like how we're doing. Like I don't love this bass line in any way, shape, or form. I would never use that in a song for me. But like we're just looking at this right here, and we're gonna do the same thing here now. We're just going to copy over all those breakdown techniques that we just did, and we're just going to move those now into this breakdown. See that? We're just going to copy these over. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. And we're going to move these up. Actually, I don't know why that's not working. Come on. There we go.
I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me.
And then it's going to go back into the second drop right here. And this track's pretty much already arranged.
Yeah.
So it's obviously we got to obviously fill in a lot of different gaps, but just for the short amount of time, like we already got an idea of how we want the arrangement to be, right?
Yeah.
So now we can go, so now we got this, we got the second drop, build up, and it's already labeled for us too. So it's really easy to follow, right? So now that you got everything in that, now you know, hey, I got to take the bass away on this. So that's a really good way to do it. You want to filter out the lows. This is one way to do it there. Same here. You want to do the same thing, filter out the lows on the breakdowns. And then let's find a better bass sound too now. So bass, we're just going to do this really quick. Try to, yeah, this will be fine. This sounds a little better actually.
Remind me why I want you.
Now we're gonna go that.
I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you
And then we
bad,
stop
baby.
with this.
Want you bad, baby.
See how that works now? It's kind of, it's already built up. The whole track is kind of already arranged just by using a reference track and showing where you want things to be built out. So then this, like, start listening to this now. Where's the outro? Yeah, the outro's right there. Pretty simple, right? So I mean, like if you
Yeah.
look at it like this, take your favorite tracks, just put the layout on them, and your track's already arranged, right? You have all the bells and whistles in your track. And we just did this really quick with this, and now we have like a framework. So now we know this is our first breakdown in our drop. So now we can start working on just getting this breakdown sounding better, right? So now we can start adding in like some like D. Let's just look for everything in D minor now. So if I know what key my track is, I'm looking for all sounds that are in that area, right?
You don't wanna
Yeah.
So we can do stuff like this, put like something like this in. And we can try to find a bass line. Something like that might be a little bit better.
So what you're doing is building the base concept and structure, and then adding to it.
Yeah,
just
so I mean,
to give it a bit of life.
yeah, so I mean, really what I'm doing, I mean, I'm doing this a little bit faster. So what I would do instead of that, I'm just showing you how I would arrange a track, right? So what I would
Yeah.
do first, though, like I showed you last week, is I would just focus on this one loop right here. First build and first drop. All right. So this is
Yep.
my whole loop. This is what I'm focusing on. Where is that noise coming from? I wouldn't use that because that doesn't sound as good, but well, yeah, now I'm just focused on this. Yeah, so now we got this. We got that on our Kickstart. We got it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I would do. I'd start building out a track like that, right? Now, what I usually do to start everything, so now that we kind of got that arrangement down, what I'll do is what I would like to do is I like to try to delete this right here. Again, I'm not trying to do anything with that, but like now I'm gonna start trying to focus on, so that breakdown, I'm just gonna focus on this one drum loop, right? So we already got kind of like this. So we got hats, claps, we got a shaker. I don't know if I love that bass loop, but now we're just going to build stuff out, right? So we're just going to focus on this one loop, trying to get all the bells and whistles in there. And that's kind of how I start to build everything out though, right? But I have everything arranged the way I want it to be arranged. Here's what the breakdown of it, right? So now we focus on everything else. Let's just start seeing. Kick and bass relationship. Does it need this? Let's see, let's put an EQ on it, see where everything's hidden. So yeah, that's kind of how that works, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Is
that makes sense now.
pretty clear. So everything's like really simple. And then now that I have like the arrangement of how I want things done, I kind of would save this as like a template. Like this is just my basic template. So every day that when you start a new track, you can hit file, save live set as default set. So every time you open up a new track to build something new, you'll already have an arrangement built out or an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else?
That makes sense. That makes sense now, because I was struggling to say, well, where am I going from the start? I've got all my sounds, got my noises, got my loops and everything, and going, how do I break this and how do I to the next element of my track. So if I use the
Yep.
reference track, I
Yep,
should be able to
use the reference
play
track as a
around.
guide for it. Yep. Use the reference track as a guide, showing you where do you want stuff to be arranged, but also listen to the reference track on what you want to use.
Won't you
So you listen, like there's like synths, there's strings, and start listening to the track as you go through it and seeing what
Yeah.
elements you're missing.
so bad?
They're automating the drums in and out a little bit, right? So they got like a filter coming in, a high pass filter, so they got like so let's do like a low pass. They got like this coming in and out. And it comes back in. So it's like
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad.
see how that kind of
Yeah,
works
so-
though?
Yeah, so playing about with all the low pass, high passes, probably once you got
Yeah.
all the elements together, you start messing around and how they
Yeah, you start-
transition.
Yeah, but really focus in. So what I really want everyone to always focus on those, the drums, right?
Yeah.
Let's make sure this loop is solid, right? So we don't like this top idea. Like, let's make sure that like we have a bunch of different top loops in there that we want to test out that sound good. Like, let's try something like that. Let's try, we'll do a few different ones here. Do one right here. We'll do another top loop.
Yeah, so you're just messing about within that space, knowing
Yep,
that you
I'm
need
just
the top.
messing it.
Yeah,
I'm just messing in this space at this point, right?
yeah.
And I want to find someone that's going to sound good. So like now we got a few different ideas. So let's hear how each one sounds. Turn it up. Idea 2. So that's a cool like idea for like maybe like an atmospheric sound. So I'm gonna move that back down here. I'm gonna look for another top that might sound good in that area. See what that sounds like. It's a little too busy.
Yeah, that speeded it up.
Yeah, it's a little too busy. This one might be good. And here's the cool thing. So we'll kind of maybe use this as a like a atmospheric glitchy thing.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I think this one sounds good. So I'm going to extend this one out. All right, so now that we got that, so now we're just really focusing in on this, right? So we got a glitchy top. Let's make sure that this is all organized. Looks like they're all hitting on the same notes together. So that's good. And they got some like perks that are kind of going in and out. So that's fine. As long as they're kind of on the same grid for each other, that works well. So we're looking at everything from shakers now. gonna turn this down a little bit on the shaker. All right, so now let's look for like stuff that we want to do like perk loops, right? We want to do something like perky, right? So we want to do something like in the deeper house. We'll do some like drum loops, some like perks. So let's look at like some perks. Maybe something like that, right? And we're just gonna work within this, like I said, we're just gonna So we're just gonna work in this realm now. We're just gonna kind of put this maybe on we don't want to use everything up. We want to fill in the space, kind of like I'm sure Alicia's kind of showed you in her videos. We want to kind of put in some space. We're just gonna move
so you don't have
these up.
everything clashing all the time.
No, so we're just gonna move things up. We're gonna have like we're gonna try to put some call and responses together, right? So this is a call, and we're gonna find like another perk. Put like something like this, right? So do like a perk 2, and we'll have that respond to this. We're just gonna maybe even do something maybe like so it's gonna respond a little bit. See how that's working? Then we're gonna fill in these spaces, right? So let's find some other things. Like maybe we'll do like some fills. So maybe we'll do something like at the end, like right here. And we'll do another one like right here. We'll turn this down. See how we're getting everything grooving now? Just kind of moving some things together. We're just gonna move those around. And then what we'll do is now we got some other spaces to fill. So let's look at the other things, right? So let's find some other perks. Look in some drum loops, some other perks. Maybe we'll even take like this and put like on the start of each one. Maybe even I just want to we'll start it off like that. Maybe we'll do something like shorten it up like
it just gives it an extra bit of excitement at the start.
Right. Yeah. So maybe we'll put that right there. It sounds okay right there. We'll move that over a few times. We've got a nice little groove going here. Might even sound good like right here next to it. So now we want to kind of do that again. Maybe we'll use this a little less, just like 4 times. And then we'll fill in some other spaces, right? So we'll get another perk. And we'll just keep working in this area, right? We're just going to see how many things we can put into this to make it sound good. So this might be cool, like right here. put it in just a little sooner, right? Maybe like right here. Maybe even do something a little shorter. Maybe that doesn't work, but that's kind of how I like to start off, and then I'm gonna start going into it. And sometimes I'll even take out this bass line just to hear the Maybe we can even add, like, maybe move the synth back in and see what that sounds like with it all now. Doesn't really fit, right? So we're looking for more like of a tribal type sound, something a little bit more, something a little bit more,
More bongos.
yeah. Maybe try this. Maybe something like this. I'll probably just do my own bass line for it, but like something simple, like if it's in D minor, I'll just scale it out. And then just annotation note. I'll scale it out like that. Then I'll just do something simple like, yeah, that's always better. Simple for bass lines. So one thing that you should always want to keep in note, simple is always better for bass lines nowadays. It gives everything more room. And then in order to do a good simple bass line, like it's good, you do something like.
That's what I was doing after last week's lesson, just alternating it slightly to keep it clean but keep it different.
Right.
It just gives it a different pitch and groove.
Right. Now the track's moving and we got. And then what I sometimes you can even humanize them a little bit. Yeah, so simple like that, right? Now we gotta get that going on.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby. Remind me why I want you so bad.
Kind of.
Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
And you see how we're not even doing anything with the mix, really. We're just kind of alternating. We're just not mixing in.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
Yeah, because it's complementing the elements you're putting in by just subtly changing things.
Yeah, just subtly doing a little bit here. Like we're just like getting this.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
One thing.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
To start. Keep it simple, right? So we can even take these perks out to begin. We don't need the perks right away. And then we'll start bringing them in like right here. Yeah, so that's kind of how I like to arrange stuff, and this is, but before I get that done, now that I know how I got to build this whole loop up, right? This loop is going to be the whole track, right? We want to make sure this is really nice and sound. We want to make sure it sounds, you know, it's not, I mean,
Yeah, because that's the main part of.
right.
Yeah,
And then we know that, then we also know that that's going to be drop 2, drop 3, breakdown right here again. And like this is just going to be right here. We're going to put
yeah.
that.
They have elements of that,
Yep.
not all of it. Yeah,
And now this is how I mean now the whole track's pretty much built out. I mean, like we don't have a ton. It's not a huge one yet. It's not a ton, but like if like I say this is all done, you know.
Remind me why I want you so bad. Want you bad, baby. Want you bad, baby.
See now the whole I mean, if I had the whole loop built out a little bit more to my liking, everything, I would arrange it already. But I mean, let's just say like this is the whole loop's done. The whole track's arranged already, right?
yeah,
So now it's just copying and pasting the sections.
yeah, and just getting them to actually flow
Yeah,
better.
then you'll flow together and you'll do your transitions, and then you'll do like your level and you'll do like some sweeps, you'll do things that go into it. But I mean, the structure's there, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, so
yeah.
that's
That's the
how
bit I was lost. That was the bit I was lost. I had all the sounds like you did in the block, and I'm going, how do I move these around? I know I don't want everything at the front, and I don't want it all at the back.
Yep, that's how you do it. That's just how you would want to arrange it. So just like pull in a reference track, see what they're doing, and then try to arrange it similarly.
Yeah, I can
Sound
have a play
good?
with that now. Yeah, because I've got the bass now. I can build my own drum bits, and I can use the loops. Try to use my own drums from MIDIs because it's a little bit more practice and you can mess around a bit. But yeah, I've got everything that you've given. Hopefully, I can build out my first ever track.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you need any help, all right?
Yeah, and I look forward for them videos coming up so I can always get a refresher.
Yep, those will be in the thing for you.
Yeah, and break it
I
again.
sent those over. That was my fault. Sorry about that.
That's not a problem. It's early. Thanks very much for your help once again and have a good day.
Yep, talk
And I'll see
soon,
you next
Terry.
week.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
See you next
cheers.
week. Cheers,
All
mate.
right. Thanks, mate.